If you're a woman driving on this road, you would get pulled over by a cop. The same cop at that.
Body of a young girl has just been found.
Now he will find any excuse to pull these women over, make sure it's late at night, and yes, they will get pulled over for absolutely no reason. That's because he wanted to build his confidence, because he's going to actually do something really crazy to these women once he builds his confidence up. So he will pull them over, let them go, night after night after night after night, about 20 times, until one following lady. She was driving, he pulled over, and he actually took her. He kept her. Whether it's his house, whether it's the police car, he would force himself on them, he would them, and then he would release. And once he did it that first time, he kept doing it again and again and again. The only good news from this was he did not murder the woman. And when he forced himself on these women, his face will be shown. By the way, which is crazy rare. Usually, it said, you know, once a man grabs you and keeps you, did y'all hear that? It sounded like somebody was getting murdered outside my house. I went to go put on a jacket. That was 1000% a girl screaming outside of my house. I just put on a jacket because it's cold outside. But I'm about to make sure she's okay. Y'all, like, all jokes to the side, that timing was crazy. I have to check. So y'all, it turned out it was just my neighbors playing. It's just my neighbors playing. It's kids outside. I'm getting straight to the video, don't worry. Fun fact, see this cat right here? Yes, I feed this stray cat who comes every time in my backyard. And watch this. I have cat food right here. So I realize I'm very protective over girls and animals. I can't forget it. Snacks. GGYS. Shout out to everyone. Literally everyone for having a snack. I still have not got the ultimate GGYS picture. I'm looking for it. A group of y'all with a ton of snacks watching me. I'm looking for the perfect video, the perfect moment. But shout out to Corey X Kitchen. Thank y'all for having y'all snacks. Y'all already know what I'm about to say, because this video is crazy and scary, and it's gonna make you women think about this probably for the rest of your life when you're dealing with a cop. Trust me. And find y'all twins in the comment section. Whatever percentage your phone is on, comment it down below. See if you can find your twin. Right now I'm on 95%. I know none of y'all is my twin. Nobody phone be that high. GGYS. Go get your snacks.
I just started off in your world.
It is said, if a man grabs you and forces himself on you, whether it's kidnapped, whether it's stepfathers who you live with, it happens. Stepfather lived with this girl and he will force himself on this girl and he murdered her.
Was in her bedroom and that she was scared.
Has arrested someone in connection to the murder of Riley. The suspect is the boyfriend of Riley's mother.
I say all of that to say, if he does this and you see his face, the chances of him murdering you after is high. But no, Craig, he was different. He would do all of this to these different women just by pulling them over late at night and let them go. The women would be terrified to say anything. They would not go to the police because it was said that, or the theory goes that these women would have to tell him where they live. First of all, he would have to get the proof that you live at this place. Now that he know where you live, if you say anything, just know it's not going to end good for you. So all of the women will keep their mouth shut until it's one following short little documentary from a news reporter. Once this went up on live TV, it all changed for Craig. So you have this vehicle. It's a news reporter, it's a cameraman, and you have Craig, the officer. They are driving and they talking about highway safety.
Anything could happen. Being a female, you could be robbed if you're a male, all the way to where you could be killed.
So the news reporter is going to give tips and is going to show everybody what you should do at night on a highway to stay safe.
Do you realize how dangerous it is?
Yes, I realize. In fact, I was putting the gas in and an 18-wheeler came by and almost blew me away.
Easy. Be sure your car works. And as simple as it sounds, be sure you've got gas. Because even if you're lucky enough to get some, you still may be taking your life in your own hands.
Now, as all three was in the car filming, they passed up this road and it said Mercy Road. But Craig actually wanted to show them something. The officer actually wanted to show them something and said, you know, the area that we're passing up is where the body was, right? Because a big part of them filming this is because a girl named Kara, her body was found lifeless next to that exit, Mercy Road. She was strangled. Her car was found late at night on the highway. It stood there. Next morning happened, the car was still there. They wanted to see whose car this was, and it happened to belong to her. And as me and you know, how it all happened was Kara was just driving late at night. She was actually leaving her boyfriend's place. Now Kara loved to tell her family where she's at. She loved to call up her mom, call up her dad, or even text and say, I'm on my way home. And that's what she did.
If your car should become disabled, the rule of thumb is stay inside. There are signs you can get to put on the back window to summon for help. If strangers should offer assistance, tell them to call police or the CHP.
So when she was on her way home that following night, she didn't show up. That's because Craig will pull her over, and he actually murdered her. But wait, nobody know that. Everything is a mystery right now. So they decided to do a documentary on road safety tips at night, what you should not do, because whoever murdered Kara, that killer, he's not caught. So we have to hurry up and pump out this documentary and this awareness before anyone get it next.
Anything could happen, all the way to where you could be killed. Once you get in that other person's car, you're at their mercy.
As a cameraman in the backseat, the news reporter driving and talking, and Craig is on the other side of the news reporter. The news reporter is talking to the camera, telling everyone, if you're driving your car and it just so happened to break down, or something is wrong with the car and they have to make you pull over, if you get out the car and decide to leave, this is the most terrible idea you could ever possibly do, especially being a woman. Reasons is because so much cars is gonna pass you up, and there's a chance the wrong person will stop, maybe seem friendly to you. And if you get in that car, we might not see you again, or you're gonna end up like Kara. Perfect timing decides to happen, because during them saying all of this, there's a car parked on the side of the road, has the lights on. They go up to this car, and this man did something that he should have not done, what the news reporter is saying not to do. So when the news reporter, the police officer, they all pulled behind his car. As they got out, they seen the guy just sitting there on the steering wheel, just sitting. He didn't drive off yet, because he should have, because there's a reason why. We'll get into that. As they pulled up to him, got out the car, and then walked up to his window, they asked him, can you please get out the car? He said, yeah, sure. As he got out the car, he said, can you explain what happened? Well, I ran out of gas. As soon as I ran out of gas, I decided to get out the car. So I walked all the way to the gas station to get gas. Filled it up in a little gas container, came back, walked back, and I filled up my car.
Why you didn't drive off yet?
Well, it's because I was about to. Seeing y'all behind me, I decided to just stay still. I didn't move, because I knew you was going to question me. What am I talking about? Ross, what am I talking? No, he actually did put the gas in his car. His car still didn't start. And this is the reason why he stood there. I just had the most stupidest brain moment ever. That's what happened. When he put the gas in the car did not start, so he was stuck. The police seen him stuck. They came up to him, then they asked him questions, then he told them that. But this is when it's all about to change. Because remember, this is all live. So they fixed the problem with this guy car. This guy left. The camera crew, the officer, the police reporter, all get in that car. And they leave as well. And this was perfect. Everything turned out to be perfect once this went live on television. And when I say perfect, I mean that genuinely. Because what ended up happening was one of the girls, multiple of the girls, seen that officer in the footage of this safety awareness that you're supposed to have when you're driving late at night, and things you should not do when you're driving late at night. The girls noticed that that's Craig. He's the guy that basically kidnapped me, forced himself on me, and he let me go. I know that guy. Multiple girls watching this live footage knew that guy, and they all reported this message and sent out their tips to the police. Kara was just one of the girls that he did not let go. She was the only unlucky girl that lost her life because of this. Now all of the officers is in the station just in a classroom type of vibe, and they're discussing about this murder that just happened. As they doing so, a lady turned, looked at Craig, and jokingly said, you know, if a murder was ever to happen, strangulation, and it's a woman, Craig did. She's laughing, joking around, and everybody is looking at Craig, turned their head at Craig, and Craig starts to look nervous, like extremely nervous.
And said, Pyre, you did it. I remember you telling me on the ride along, if you ever killed anybody, you would throw them off the bridge at Mercy Road. I was kind of sitting sideways in my chair, and I'd look back at Pyre.
That everybody looking at him was a little bit unsettled, because it was how the lady said it, though, in a joking way. She said, when I was riding with him, her exact words was, when I was riding with him, he said, if I ever anyone, it'll be a woman left there on the side of the road. But he said this to her in a joking way. She told it back to him during that moment in a joking way, and it made him extremely nervous because the whole time it was true, obviously.
And I noticed that he would frozen and looked like he was turned white as a ghost and was about ready to throw up.
Now they decided to do an investigation on him, and they checked his car. They found a rope in his trunk. They matched the rope with the marks on her neck. It matched exactly, but they needed more evidence, so they kept looking. Now most creeps like him leave patterns behind because they're so detailed in what they do and it's so planned out that he have to leave patterns behind. Which was, is there a certain time? Yes, it was a certain time, always at night. Second, it was no men at all. Never any men. Third, it was no elderly women. It was only younger women. So if this younger woman she's driving is late at night and he sees that she's alone, he's going to pull you over. Once he pull you over, he's going to direct you to a complete dark path. Maybe it's a road that's not fully constructed yet and it's getting constructed on, but no one's working on it yet because it's late. Or maybe you have to turn on some dark street on this highway. Just get in there and turn in there. Or maybe a parking lot that's dark. It has to be somewhere dark and a little bit of a distance from the other cars. They also noticed that Kara had a blunt force on her head. Well, by looking at that blunt force, they knew it came from a flashlight. Long behold, in that trunk, when they found the rope, they also found a flashlight. And that was the flashlight that he used on her. So you have the robes, you have the flashlight, you have these girls coming out to say all of this evidence. You have his patterns. And in these patterns was the girls that came out to say, yeah, he's weird. Because they was looking at the people he pulled over and it just all matched up. I mean, the woman is scared.
I feel like I am unsafe on the roads nowadays because of this incident.
They don't really trust the police at this time at all.
I'll tell you one thing, I won't open the window when a police stops me. I'll have it cracked, but that's about it.
Even want to drive down that road, even though he's locked up. Women are too scared to drive down these roads. Now I made a TikTok that went extremely viral, similar to something like this. I don't know if you've seen it, but I was saying that last year, fake cops will pull you over. So yes, although this may be something scary, it is not that common. But you still got to be aware because you don't want to be the unlucky one. Ladies, this is scary as Now there's this new little method going around of how men pretending to be a cop kidnapping and trafficking women who's driving late at night. Well, what happened was, if you driving late at night and you get stopped, more than likely it's an undercover cop.
Are y'all aware of the fake cop scam that's going on around here, where fake cops are pulling women over in the middle of the night on those 2-lane roads? They have they have what looks like to be real badges.
There's only one thing worse than getting pulled over by the cops: getting pulled over by a fake cop.
You gonna give me a ticket?
Oh, I'm not a real cop. I'm just pretending, because I'm gonna murder you.
This cop will stop you, talk to you, want you to roll down your window, and try to convince you a valid reason on why they pulled you over. So they're gonna ask you for your information. Once they get that address and all of the information that they need from you, they're gonna ask you, okay, have a good day.
When you give a cop your information, like when a cop pulls you over and you give them information, you give them everything. Your driver's license, your registration, you give them everything with all of your information on it.
They're not even going to give you a ticket. This is just a warning, ma'am, and all of this blase. Then this is when everything proceeds to happen once they have your information. You may end up going missing depending on how vulnerable and easy you are. It's crazy. Dark world right now. I know. These are the states that this is happening in: South Carolina, Miami, Utah, Pennsylvania, New York, North Carolina, Texas, and a couple of more other states. I just haven't seen all of the names yet, but just be aware that this can happen anywhere. But y'all know that I got you. Now let's just say you're a female and it's nighttime and you get pulled over, and you may think of this video in your head, but you don't know if it's a real cop. Well, here's what you can do.
How to tell if someone is impersonating an undercover police officer.
Well, a Chino Hills man has been arrested now for impersonating a police officer.
If an unmarked police vehicle is pulling you over, you can turn on your hazard lights and drive the speed limit while safely and legally calling 911. Oftentimes, the dispatcher will be able to verify that the traffic stop is legitimate.
You let them know that I'm going to pull over at the next gas station, the next Walmart, the next exit, the next truck stop, whatever the case may be, wherever there are other people at. If they say, you know what, we don't even have a cop in your area, then you know that that is a fraud and you cannot pull over under any circumstance.
Now let's just say you don't call the cops while you're getting pulled over while turning on your hazard lights, and the cop is approaching your car and you come to a realization, damn, this might be a real fake cop. What you can do is crack your window halfway, ask the person for the badge number and ID. Just watch out for their behavior. Stutters, eye movements, trying to think about it, trying to beat around and avoid the question, to try to demand authority over you by asking you a question. Just all around abnormal behavior.
The body of Dr. Florence Weaver was found brutally murdered in her home this morning.
Now, what I'm about to say is going to be crazy. It's going to sound crazy. I feel like it's really true. Like, I really believe that it's true because I used to always say this to my mother, my grandma, my aunts, my cousins that's around my age and younger. We all know that gut feeling, but I feel like it's a gift that all girls have. Here's the real reason why I say this, because a lot of mothers know when something happens without even knowing what happened to their kids.
This woman made a horrifying discovery after having a gut feeling that something was wrong with her daughter. On the 17th of March, her mum Alice stated that she just had a feeling that something bad had happened to her daughter. Trusting her gut, she decided to go to Morel's ex-boyfriend's house. Her daughter was deceased in the bathroom of the apartment. Her cause of death hasn't been released yet, but it is believed to have been a murder.
Or if you do something bad, you just know that your mom gonna know because she just have that feeling. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I'm just crazy, losing my mind. But that gut feeling, I feel like girls have that talent. So you're gonna know when you feel uncomfortable and you're gonna know what you have to do. Call the cops. Don't unlock your door. Don't get out the car. Just wait for another officer to come when you call the cops. Thank y'all for watching. Literally, thank y'all for watching. And I hope that you truly enjoyed this video. But there's something I want to tell y'all. I was watching a TikTok and I seen this video of water. I found my new fear. It's not because I'm black. I know how to swim. I'm realizing certain types of water completely scarifies me, truly scarifies me. For an example, a huge tsunami. I'm at the beach and there's this huge tsunami and I know that there's no way out. It's just something about that water and that event that don't sit right with me. Another thing that don't sit right with me is water in places that is abandoned. These types of waters in these buildings, I couldn't imagine just falling inside that water. I really couldn't. It seemed like I'm gonna be trapped in a portal on how dangerous this water looks.
Makes me ill. Why? What? Look at that. Look at this. The way it goes down into the water like that. What are they doing? What? This guy better be paid $1 million a week.
The pool don't get me that much, but when it's inside a building, it gets me. It gets me a lot.
Still water is one of the most dangerous things you can come across when you're exploring. It's cold and it could be deeper than you expect. And if nothing's moved and there's no current, nothing's touched, things could be eroded down below. Like that, those stairs, as soon as you step on them, they could collapse under the water and you have no idea, especially if it's a wooden structure, what's gonna happen until you get there.
Y'all, I know I'm venting about something completely random, but I thought I should tell y'all. But it's like, I didn't even talk about dark water. And I like to explore with the alligators and crocodiles, and that type of dark water don't scare me. The dark water that scares me, and that do scare a lot of people, by the way. But the type of dark water that scares me is ocean dark water.
Oh man, this water is far too dark, even for scuba dam. My boat needs to come and pick me up quick. The Norwegian Sea can reach depths of 6,000 feet. That's 2,000 meters. Ah, finally. Get me out of here, bro.
But enough of me venting, yatting, and chatting, and yapping.
But look, I love y'all. Stay safe. Be careful out here, because you really never know. Take care. Bye.
If you really wanna fuck with me, maybe you should come try and see.